Last night, my dogs started suddenly barking, and when I looked out of the window, I saw a helicopter flying low and across my property. They must have been dropping boxes of ticks. No, I don't think they were dropping anything. But that sent me down the rabbit hole, and apparently not only me. There has even been a congressional review on that subject in 2016 or 2019. I don't remember the exact year. But the current wave of ticks conspiracy theory came from a single TikTok video that went viral and reached 100 million views. And suddenly, everybody with the camera started posting videos of helicopters flying across their properties. And we have what we have. Now, personally, me, I don't believe in that conspiracy theory. But let's assume for a minute that it's all true. Then the next question is, who really gains from it? Releasing massive amount of ticks into the wild does nothing but harm and will lead to environmental catastrophe. The problem is, ticks is not something you can control once you release them. Because once released, ticks are not staying in the same area. They will attach themselves to livestock and wildlife. They will attach themselves to the deer, moose, birds, and any other wildlife that's in the area. And before you know, a couple weeks later, they are 100 miles away and reproducing themselves. And they reproduce like crazy. A single female tick can lay up to 8,000 eggs a year. Imagine if somebody was actually releasing hundreds of thousands of ticks, and half of them are females. That would mean up to 400 million eggs a year, and that just one generation. So if somebody were to release hundreds, thousands of ticks, they would not be harming just one area, they would be harming the whole region. And they will have a catastrophe on their hand. Wildlife would suffer. Massive amount of people will get sick and will start moving out to other regions. Livestock operation will get affected. Tourism will take a huge hit and property prices will drop. In other words, nobody actually winning from that situation. And that's why the whole conspiracy theory about ticks doesn't make sense to me, because once you release something like that, you can't just put it back in the box. And the disaster can last for decades. And to that you can tell me, no, it's not government, it's a big corporation, some kind of big entity, something like big pharmaceutical company. But to be honest, the theory doesn't hold up either. Think of what it would actually take to do something like that. There need to be a place to raise those hundred thousands of ticks. Then somebody will need to load them to the trucks. Somebody will need to transport them. Somebody will need to load them to the aircraft. And then somebody will actually need to drop those boxes. So, thousands of employees, huge operation, and not a single documentation, not a single whistleblower, not a single employee talks, and no scientists noticing that there are suddenly huge uprising of ticks in one area compared to other areas. Because let's be honest, up to this point, there is not a single shred of evidence supporting that something like that happening, beyond few shaky videos taken with iPhone and published on a social media. And even if a big company wanted to do something like that, to what end and what is the upside? The lawsuit alone would be catastrophic. We are talking about $100 billion in damages, destroyed reputation, cancelled contracts, and a potential bankruptcy. This would be the biggest corporation scandal in a modern history. This doesn't sound like a business plan to me. This sounds more like suicidal note. And some people might even go to jail. Of course, not the people that sit up there, but a middleman. You know how it works. And to be honest, if somebody wanted to do something like that, I don't think they would do it locally. The world has never been short on places where bad things happen and nobody pays attention to them until many years later. That's actually something I could believe in. But helicopters dropping boxes of ticks on rural properties, no, sorry, that just doesn't pass the smell test for me. That being said, there does seem to be an increase in ticks population, at least in my area, in past 2 years. And if the same happens in your area, then I have a few tips for you that you could use. First of all, don't worry. It takes 24 to 36 hours for a tick to actually transmit a disease. So if you come from the field or from the bush and you find tick on your body, remove it and wash the place. If you need, go see a doctor. But most likely, you will be completely fine and nothing will happen to you. The other thing, make sure you mow your front yard and your backyard. This will not eliminate ticks, but will help to manage them. Because ticks like a tall grass where they can go all the way up and with the front leg spread, wait for the host. Additionally, if you want more protection, you could use chemicals, something like permethrin. It will kill ticks on a contact. You can even spray it on your clothes, and the thing is so strong that it will stay active even throughout a couple of washes. The only thing I would warn you about, don't use it on your pets. I don't know about dogs, but that thing is poisonous to cats. But if you don't want to use a strong chemical like that, you could use anything that contains DEET in it. Something that contains 25 to 30% of DEET will actually be an excellent tick repellent. And if you think in DEET used in a mosquito repeller, you're absolutely right. The same stuff that you can buy in any Home Depot or in any store to repel mosquitoes, if it contains DEET, it will also repel ticks. And that thing, you can spray it on your clothes and you can spray it on your skin. It's made to be used like that, so you will be absolutely fine. The other thing, of course, use a common sense. If you have to go and do something in a bush or in the field where you know there might be ticks, make sure you cover your skin. Don't just start wearing sandals, shorts, and have like a summer t-shirt with a lot of skin exposed. No, wear good boots, wear pants with a good and strong material, something like jeans, and wear a shirt with a long sleeve. Take it from somebody who lived rurally for now 9 years, spent a lot of time in the bush, and honest to God, I never found a tick on my body. I do find them pretty often on my dogs and have to remove it, but I never found a single tick on myself. And that's really all you need. Just use a common sense, take precaution, and you will be fine. And of course, nobody knows everything about ticks. So my question to you, how you personally deal with ticks? Leave a comment down below and let me know. If you enjoyed that video, then you probably will enjoy watching my previous video that talks about things you need to keep a secret if you own any land, homestead or rural property. I hope you liked that video and I earned your subscription. And we will talk very soon.